Hi there, welcome to the Jay Slater missing person case, the latest news and updates on the matter. Just recently, news came out that supposedly Jay Slater's sunglasses may have been found out in the rural area by one of the influencers, the TikTok guy from the UK, that came out as a volunteer to Tenerife to search around. Now you could say it's coincidental timing, maybe convenient after that guy was criticizing the police and the search teams for not doing enough and sitting around, and he just suddenly comes on in and then finds sunglasses. But nevertheless, I'm only presenting to you the new details today from one of the latest articles attached with photos of the potential evidence, the sunglasses, which have been shown on screen. And I'll do a comparison, almost like a side-by-side comparison or so later in this video between what Jay Slater was wearing on the holiday photo and what was found near to where his phone last pinged, and see if there's a correlation or not. And I'll give you my opinion on the matter. Make sure to stick around for that. It's kind of interesting. Without further ado, let's get straight into this news. The title of the article reads, "New Clue Found by TikTok Sleuths in Tenerife in Search for Missing Teenager Jay Slater." I wonder why it says TikTok sleuths with an S, meaning more than one person found the sunglasses, if there was only at least 6 people out there searching and it was mainly one guy that came across it. A bit weird. This is by Flaminia Luck, interesting name, 1st of July 2024, and it's been updated since the 2nd of July. I wonder why. We do have some photos there. We'll look closer shortly. Here we go. A new clue has been found in the search for 19-year-old Jay Slater, who went missing in Tenerife 2 weeks ago. The amateur detectives who jetted out to the Canary Island to join the hunt to claim to have found his missing sunglasses near the village of Masca. The pair of sunglasses, similar to the ones Jay was last seen wearing, were found close to where his mobile phone last pinged in rural Diteno Park. It is thought the clue could assist those searching for him and provide crucial information on his whereabouts. Now, if it turns out to be his sunglasses, as you see there, I don't know where this was posted, somewhere online, by Christopher Tenerife. Well, there you go, and it seems to be on the seat of his car or vehicle he's been using to get about. Now, were they handled correctly with gloves? You would hope so, because if it is a key piece of evidence and it links to Jay Slater, for formal procedure, you need to be handling it with care, with gloves, so you don't contaminate any DNA, any evidence on it. You need to check for DNA in the first place to see if these do belong to Jay Slater, or if he at least touched them at some point, because it remains in the balance uncertain at this moment in time. I mean, they do appear to look damaged, and I will do an analysis of that a bit later. But what did I want to just acknowledge here, first of all? So they said the sunglasses were found close to where his mobile phone last pinged. Now, in terms of where it last pinged, is this ping to do with when he made that call to his friend? Was it Lucy? About how he was thirsty, he was lost, didn't know where he really was, and he was on 1% battery because he didn't charge his phone beforehand. I'm assuming that's when it last pinged, because after that point, it wouldn't have been that long till the phone died if it was already on 1%. I mean, as for that phone call that was made, was he able to make a full phone call and say goodbye? Was he able to hang up, or did it hang up by itself because the phone died of low battery? Nevertheless, would have been in a close area there to the final ping, likely. And if glasses were found nearby as well, yeah, you could say there is a potential link. But it does come down to how rural is the area, specifically where that phone pinged, how many visitors, passerbys go through that area on foot, hiking, etc. If it's known for lots of people to pass on through, you could argue and say it could be anyone's sunglasses, because if you're in Tenerife or any other hot country where there's quite a lot of sunshine and light, most people will be wearing sunglasses, or at least take them with them on their holidays or wherever they're going, right? And even locals possibly too with sunglasses. But with the exception that the area that Jay was last at based off the phone ping and the sunglasses being found, if not many people pass by that area because it's kind of out of reach, or it's just like not, it's like off the beaten pathway. But then you can argue and say it's more likely to be his because less people are to go that way, but supposedly Jay did, so, and he was wearing glasses too. That's how you can break it down from there. Any additional details? The search for the teen was called off on Sunday after the civil guard called for volunteers to join a massive search in the Masca area at the island on Saturday. However, Spanish police said the investigation remains open. And I do believe the Spanish police did say, whilst the searches are called off, if there's any more tips in the future or follow-ups of evidence, then they could, start searching again. Would these sunglasses lead to more searches coming about? Are those sunglasses direction-based evidence? And I would argue and say no. But the condition that there are could imply what may have happened to Jay, possibly. There we go, more zoomed in here. I think it's important to say the groundabout looks flat. I don't see any footprints, if I be honest with you. The lens, did you call it a lens? I forgot what you call it, the black lens bit, which goes into the outline of the sunglasses thing. It's broke, it's come out. Why has it popped out? Has it popped out because of the temperatures? Heat expanding? Did it pop out because it was broken in the moment when it fell on the floor? The other important thing to highlight, where are the arms of the sunglasses? I can't seem to see them. They look flat on the ground. You got the lens, you got the rim of the glasses, but you don't have the little arms, the ones what you pull out and then put on your ear to hold them onto your face. Where those two arms at, the hinges, I can't seem to see them. So only this was found. So where are the other pieces of the sunglasses then? It just seems a bit weird, right? Normally, let's just say you dropped your sunglasses on the floor. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be damaged. They might have a little scratch on the lens itself, but even if it lands on the floor, because of the drop height of your hand or your pocket, they're not going to break. If you used to drop or place sunglasses on the floor and then stand on them or stamp, very likely they will break, they will snap, right? In this case, the lens doesn't seem cracked or scraped, but that might be image quality, but it has popped out, which is interesting. The arms of the sunglasses are missing. I don't know why they weren't found nearby the sunglasses. Why were they taken away, but the remainder of the sunglasses stay there? That just seems a little bit odd. If you were in a rush, if you were being kidnapped, if you were on the run and they dropped out, they wouldn't look like that likely because you'd still have all the pieces attached with it. If the temperature was that hot and it caused expansion or it caused the lens to pop out, okay, but the arms I just can't see unless they're very thin, but normally you would see it go across behind the glasses unless they're a different type. What about that one there? No, they do look broken from the looks of it, unless they're folded. But still, the condition that they're in, they wouldn't really look like that if you just simply dropped them accidentally or they fell out, whether you're just walking or running. To step on them, to stand on them, why would that be the case? What's the whole point of standing on sunglasses? If you had a mobile phone and someone stamped down on it to try and remove evidence, to destroy something, and it probably wouldn't be a good enough job the way technology is nowadays, but you get the idea. Stamp on so they can't use that device anymore or reach out to help. They're not going to be using sunglasses to bloody communicate with search and rescue with the light, unless, actually, to be honest, when I think about it, I don't know exactly what items can be used, but when it's summer, when it's really warm and basically the sun is out, aren't you able to use certain objects to reflect light so it creates a glint, like a shimmer of light? So if you're far away and you use it to flicker light, it could get the attention of people further afar who would see it and then maybe come on over. Does that make sense to anyone? I don't know if that would apply to sunglasses though, because of what they're built for. I think you'd probably need a mirror more so. shine the mirror like towards the sun or at a certain angle, and it creates like a flash effect in the distance, and then it would grab people's attention. That could be used if you wanted to try and get help. Just like if someone had a fire, they set fire to something, create smoke signal, things like that. Would that have been done with sunglasses? Personally, I've not heard about sunglasses being used for that, and I don't know if it would actually work because of the job, what they do. But nevertheless, they've been left behind, they've been damaged. What would be the point of that? Is there a chance that someone might have been walking or higher up and then fell and landed on them? I mean, yeah, you could even be stood still and walking along and then you fall over, and if the glasses are in your pocket or just on your shirt and you fall on them, you could crush them. That's another thing. But I still want to know, where are the arms and hinges? Why are they missing? They don't appear to show up in the photo. Now, Jay attended the festival, with 2 friends before his disappearance. Last known location, 11-hour walk. When it says 2 friends, one of which was, Lucy May? Who was the other person, though? I've not heard that person's name. There's been mystery around 2 British men he went north towards Massacre from the festival with, but they were cleared later. Initially, key witnesses, then dismissed, not relevant. It comes after Jay's parents say they were heartbroken and devastated after the Spanish police announced the decision to call off the search. Despite this, family friend Rachel Hargraves said Mr. Slater's loved ones have no intention of leaving the island. Now he is there. Miss Hargraves, mother of Slater's best friend, Brad Hargraves, said, "We're just carrying on searching ourselves." She said they were continuing to cooperate with TikTok mountaineer Paul Onart, who has helped with the search in the last week. She added, "We're looking for whoever can find with mountain rescue experience, and we'll carry on searching the area." On Friday, I appealed for volunteer associations, such as firefighters, individual volunteers, experts, helicopter drone unit, and camp. So I'll be honest, it's lacking a little bit in terms of these sunglasses. As for confirmation, DNA, but I guess that's not been done yet. What do the parents think of this? Their response, their reactions? Maybe that will come with time. So if you managed to make it this far into the video, that's good to know, because now we just do that little comparison side by side. We got the photo of the sunglasses here, which do appear mostly damaged and certain pieces missing from the looks of it. I don't know if that's on a sheeting, white paper, I guess to protect it. I'm guessing that the guy was wearing gloves, hopefully. There's the other photos we just seen, but this is what we got. So I think Lucy, the friend, is on the right, and then the other friend is on the left, that guy, but I don't know his name. I've never heard his name before. And then in the middle is Jay Slater, and as you can see, he is wearing black sunglasses, but the friend on the right, Lucy, is wearing black sunglasses as well. And they seem to be the same style, maybe the same make. Now, would there be like a brand name on them? Are they cheap sunglasses, maybe from the airport before going on holiday? Were they bought in Tenerife? Were they bought back in the UK? Who knows? Details like that have not been given. As for DNA and evidence like that, that's not been revealed either. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So this TikTok is claiming that they could be, not that they are 100%. So I guess appropriate language used there. I do think it's a bit convenient though, and coincidental timing, how, searches can be conducted for nearly 2 weeks or so. Nothing is found even when searching in the area. And then suddenly this British guy comes along and then instantly finds them. You get what I'm saying? You will get skeptical people along the way, which may suggest and say, well, let's think about this. Okay, Jay Slater has certain clothing on him. Let's replicate it and place it at the scene and then record ourselves or document ourselves, coming across it and say, hey, look what we found. Is this a Nicola Bully situation where people online claim to have gone out and found items and evidence, but in the end it doesn't link and it's just time wastage? It's about getting clicks, views and attention, stirring up things. Who knows? But all you can say is, at least somehow it was worded in the article at least, it could be the glasses. Not that it is 100%, but it could be. So as long as appropriate language is used, that's what matters. And of course, the intention behind the person that finds them, as long as the person has found them and not placed them there, then recorded, then it'll be a bit more genuine, right? Because you think about it, the timing of it all, how 2 weeks on, no one else found them, and then this random guy did. Is it because where he found them, the other people didn't search? or they weren't trying hard, or that they just weren't there at the time, but they are now, and that's what makes it convenient. I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. But just as that light observation, if I'm able to zoom in, see those black sunglasses? Similar to what she's got as well, same shape as well. Sometimes sunglasses can have a bit of a unique shape, right? You can see the arms on the side of the sunglasses, and that's what he's wearing on holiday. Was he wearing them when he went missing, when he walked away? Because like that CCTV footage or so, camera of him in the distance, you couldn't really make out what he was wearing on his face. It was very blurry, it was dark, but you may think, oh, he's wearing sunglasses. So he's walking along, he makes a call. Does he lose the sunglasses before or after making that phone call where the final ping was? Who knows? Whether it was before or after, it was probably nearby or so, you would think. And there you go. Do they look the same? Are they the same to what you see here? Personally, what I would say is the lens does appear a bit different. The shape of it, the outline, looks the same. I'm just comparing it bit by bit, the shaping of it. How it goes up to the nose area, I guess so. But then it's got that bridge bit on the nose. Do you see that there? Hard to tell. The colouring of that one does look darker than what you see here, but then again, these glasses are pointing up at the sun, the light, which will illuminate it more and make it a bit more lighter in colour, and it shows a lot of roughness or scratches on it. So why do you think these sunglasses were found here? If they belonged to Jay Slater, did they end up here because he accidentally dropped them? He dropped them because he was in a rush? Did he drop them because he was ambushed by someone? Because of the condition that they do look damaged. There appears to be missing pieces, supposedly, at least from the perspective of what I can see. Does that suggest that somebody caused damage to them? Jay himself or somebody else? And once again, why would they? Okay, it's a bit of evidence, but it doesn't exactly trace back to where he actually is. Not really. And that's where I link on to direction-based evidence. Direction-based evidence is a term that I created myself in previous cases, in which you may find a specific item or multiple pieces which lead you in a certain direction. It opens up a new lead. You can branch out and go further. Example could be phone pings. It's just unfortunate that in this case, final phone ping, possibly around the time of when his phone died, and because it's on 1%, it would have only traced so far. If his phone was charged for longer, the phone pings would have been richer in quality and quantity and depth, however far it would go until the phone maybe turned off, damaged, low battery, right? So things have fallen short. As for these sunglasses, are they direction-based evidence? Not really, because no matter what way the sunglasses are facing in, it's not going to point in, that's the way he went, or that's the way he went. It don't quite work like that. It was like torn pieces of clothing, little pieces along the way like breadcrumbs, well then that could lead into a direction, or if it was like blood trails or even footprints. But it just so happens that, I guess in this case, I haven't seen anything mentioned about footprints yet. And I'm thinking, were there no footprints because of the actual quality and terrain of the ground? It doesn't leave an indentation in. But then when I was thinking of the US case with Aidan Clune going into the desert area away from West Wendover and then going to Cherry Creek Mountain, that range, it was very dry, very hot, but there were still imprints in the ground and they were still traced over time. So if it's warm and hot over there and it's preserved the ground and you stand in it, how hard is the surface of the ground? Is it soft? Is it compact? Would it leave a footprint behind? Because that's the only other piece of direction-based evidence you would have besides the phone pings, right? As for sunglasses, let's just say that they're retrieved successfully, they're identified, DNA confirmed to be Jay Slater's. What does it lead to? That his glasses were found near to his final phone ping. Would that mean his body, if it was based off that, his body is next to his sunglasses? Well, that guy searching about didn't come across a body. Sunglasses there, body elsewhere, nearby. Maybe a small chance, maybe, but if it has been searched the area thoroughly, then obviously wouldn't be the case. Where would you go from there with those sunglasses? Does it point in a direction? No. Was it the part of the final phone ping? Yeah. And with the final phone ping being limited, that's restrictive as well as to where you would go from there on there. So really, the matter of finding more evidence may run thin. You got to try and understand and put in perspective how much possessions, how much material did he have on him at the time? Was he wearing a top? Was it just shorts? Did he have a neck chain on? Did he have any rings? Any additional pieces of items of interest, personal possessions? Is it correct that his phone is still missing? I'm assuming that. So the next piece you'd be hoping to find would be the phone, of course, to maybe search on it, see what's on it. But did anyone try cloning the phone, what Jay has, to see if there's any text messages, anything suspicious, unusual activity on it, any photos which you could get a hold of? And what phone did Jay have? Was it an iPhone? What about checking iCloud? I mean, you'd be assuming and think that most of that has already been done. I wouldn't know personally because I've only just looked at this case on the spot, but as for common sense, there are things what you could do to try and retrace the steps, the digital steps of the person and beyond. Now, let's just say you came across his phone near to the sunglasses, then you could start thinking, oh, hey up, why are we dropping items along the way? Is that like a clue, or is that because the dropping items to get lighter because it's too much weight? That's probably a bit of a stretch, that, but why else would you do that? Drop items off in hopes that someone else will come across them if you're in danger yourself. I'll just drop that here, I'll drop that there as I'm being escorted away or kidnapped by someone. Based off that theory, maybe, but up to now, only sunglasses have been found, and it's not 100% certain if they do belong to Jay Slater. And just to reiterate the original point, if it just happens to be an area where other people can pass by and walk through, depending on the population and on a day-to-day or weekly or monthly basis, what percentage of people come through this area where Jay Slater did? If it was fairly high and somewhat frequent, then you could argue and say, well, maybe those glasses belong to somebody else that was walking by and accidentally dropped them. It's not just Jay Slater's. And that because of the area, the terrain, the environment, the heat and the sun, and people going on holiday in general, most people would be wearing sunglasses, or at least take them with them at some point on the journey for the protection of the eyes, the sun as well. It would make sense. As for the dating of those glasses, how far do they date back to? I don't know if you could do that, if you used to check the DNA or analyze it up close. I mean, if you could get a date on them, then you could determine whether they're recent or really old. Certain stuff, items out there where you could kind of like estimate how old they are because of how worn or torn they are. The condition of these glasses, they're not completely old looking. They're damaged enough to make you think what caused that. And of course you can let me know what you think down below. I've asked a range of questions, I've given a few of my opinions. Hopefully you found this video of interest. You can always add on down below. I just wanted to do this comparison with the glasses. I do think it's a little bit convenient that a guy just suddenly pops in, then wants to be ticked off the list, so then they can do their own independent searches, and just like that, bang, they found glasses. You could say, well, they've done a very good job. They must be experienced with being a mountaineer, so they know what they're doing, and that's why they're able to find what they find. But still, the timing of it all, it's just a little bit dodgy. But who knows what happens next? And if the glasses are somehow confirmed to be Jay Slater's, then you can argue and say that this TikTok that came on in has made a big impact and a big influence immediately. But that kind of hangs in the balance at this moment in time. We'll see what happens next, but thanks for watching. If you do want to catch one of my previous videos that I did, I'll provide a link down below, or where the eye symbol is. Feel free to click on that. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.